Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to study about magnetism. Yes, this is all about magnetic effect of current. Previously, in your previous chapters or in your junior classes, you have gone through what is magnet, how magnet can magnetize other materials, and also how it can attract them within a certain range. But in this chapter, we are going to study the magnetic effect of current. That is, when a current carrying conductor, that is when a current is passing through a conductor, there is a magnetic field around it. So we are going to study about this chapter. So come, let us get into this chapter. A Danish physicist, his name was Oersted. He performed an experiment, and from that experiment it was very clear that when a current flows through a conductor, a magnetic field is attached. How and what he did, let us see. So here we see a circuit, and below the circuit a magnetic needle is kept. Now what is magnetic needle? See, basically you can say it as compass, okay, magnetic compass. So what magnetic needle actually does, it aligns in the horizontal magnetic field of Earth. That is, when you align a compass in North Pole and South Pole direction, it generally aligns in that direction only, North Pole and South Pole. You get to know which direction is north, south, east and west. So similar, that kind of magnetic needle has been kept over here. So it was suspended. The moment the circuit was switched on, current ran through the circuit. So just when current ran through the circuit, this magnetic needle started to deflecting. This magnetic needle, suppose it was like this, it started deflecting. Just understand it like this. Suppose this is a magnetic needle. So the magnetic needle was kept like this. So when and on the upper hand there is a current passing through it. So suppose this is a current passing, and below there is a magnetic field. The moment current passes through, the magnetic field deflects. This magnetic needle deflects. So when the magnetic needle deflects, it is very clear that there must be a magnetic field. That is why this magnetic needle is deflecting. So how did this field appear over here? Then he switched off the circuit. When he switched off the circuit, he found that this needle automatically came back to its original position. That means that whenever there is a current passing through this circuit, the magnetic needle is deflecting. So whenever there is a current passing through the circuit, a magnetic needle is deflecting. Now what he does, he changed the polarity. So due to changing the polarity, the direction of current is in the opposite direction. Now he observed that the magnetic needle is deflecting in the opposite direction. So if suppose previously it was deflecting like this, but now when the polarity has been changed, the magnetic needle is deflecting in the opposite direction. That means there is a reverse effect. So from this experiment, it has become very clear that there must be some kind of magnetic field associated with this experiment. That means associated with the current carrying contacts. From this, he concluded that whenever there is a flow of electric current, there must be some magnetic field that generates, which eventually deflects the magnetic field. That means that magnetic field has been produced by a current carrying conductor. That means we can already say this, that a moving charge creates magnetic. Got it? This part is clear. Next we are going to learn what is Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law actually gave the mathematical expression by which we can calculate particularly what is the magnetic field due to what magnitude of current and in what direction. So Biot-Savart law become very useful. So come, let us see what is Biot-Savart law. So here I have drawn and I have written Biot-Savart law. So what Biot-Savart law tells us about? So Biot-Savart law says that the current element dl, see, current is flowing through this wire, that is XY, okay. So current is flowing through this wire or this conductor, and how much current is passing? I current is passing. Now Biot-Savart law tells us that magnetic field due to the current element flowing in this part, that is dl. If we consider, see, current is flowing throughout this wire, Now if we consider this dl part, the current flowing through dl part will produce magnetic field at r distance, whatever the distance you take, and at this direction what will be the magnetic field. So Biot-Savart law gives us the idea that when the current element dl produces magnetic field, so this current element dl means when current flowing through this small elemental length, that is very small, a tiny small elemental length that you have taken, that is dl, then what is the magnitude of magnetic field produced by that part? What will be the magnetic field produced by that part at a distance r at this point? So this gives us that the current element dl produces magnetic field at a distance r, and theta be the angle between r and dl. So r and dl is in this direction, theta be the angle. So the magnetic field is proportional to I dl sin theta by r square. So this is what Biot-Savart law gives us. Now how you are going to find out this one? So from here, if this is proportional to this, that is it is proportional to the current element, the sine of angle between current element dl and this r, and this r square is the distance between, that is the r square. So this is how it is proportional. Okay, so magnetic field is inversely proportional to the square of distance between the point and the current element. Magnetic field is proportional to the current element dl and also the amount of current through the wire, amount of current moving through the wire, and also the sine of angle between the current element dl and the position vector, that is r. So now here you can understand that when it is proportional, that then there must be some proportionality constant. So this proportionality constant is found to be mu naught by 4 pi. Yes, I am going to explain you what is mu naught, what is 4 pi. And the most important question the student will ask me, sir, how can you say this dl part is a vector quantity? See, current is scalar, right? So when current is flowing through this, just understand it like this. When current is flowing through this, at this particular point the current has this direction. If you consider this particular point, the current has this direction. So when you are specific with the element, that is at which position the current is moving, for that element, that part becomes a vector quantity. So current at this point has a certain direction, current at this point has a certain direction, current in this point has a certain direction. So current element is vector quantity. Clear? Now this can be modified and written as like this. This can be modified and written like this. Then it will be very easy for us to calculate and understand, and direction of magnetic field also. So we can understand it like this. This can be written as dB is equals to mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r by r cube. So when you do the cross product, it comes out to be ideal r sin theta. Then 1r and this r cube, out of r cube 1r cancels. So ultimately you get this one. So this can be written like this. Now what is mu? This is written as permeability. This is known as permeability of free space. This is known as permeability of free space. So magnitude of mu is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 Tesla meter ampere inverse. So this is the unit of this mu naught. Yes, I am explaining. Just understand this. So ultimately you get dB, that is the small amount of infinitesimal magnetic field due to this current element, right? So if you need to find out the magnetic field due to this total conducting wire, current is flowing through all these elements. So for that you need to integrate. Okay. So for that you need to integrate just an integration sign. Got it clear? Now, first thing that is the doubt in your head is what is mu naught, what does it represent, and the second thing is how can we understand the direction of magnetic field produced. So I told you that if to understand this chapter you need to have a very good knowledge of vector. If you have a weak concept in vector, please go and follow this video that I am linking over here. So from there you are going to get a very clear picture of vector. Clear? So let us get back here. Now what is permeability of free space? See, permeable means that which can pass through. So magnetic fields are permeable. So how much magnetic field can pass through a medium actually let you know the permeability. Okay, suppose if I talk about this magnetic field, if I talk about this, all these things, like whatever I'm teaching in class 11 and 12, if I would have gone to talk about all these things when you were in class 6, all those teachings were permeable to your head. Permeable means all those things would have gone through your head. No, that was not permeable at that point of time, right? But now all these things are permeable. Permeable means that it is going through your head, right? Going through is getting into. Got it? So permeable means magnetic fields are permeable, that is they get into a medium. Clear? So that is why permeability of free space. So now different medium has different permeability. Okay, so free space permeability, this is the value. So different medium has different permeability that varies according to the medium. So ultimately this is clear, but the confusion remains about the direction. Yes, for that I will show you in a different way. See one thing. Okay, so current element dl is in this direction. Current element dl is in this direction, right? And this position vector r is in this direction, right? This is it. Okay, am I right? Yes, the direction is like this, near about like this. So I have told IDL cross R, IDL cross R. That means which one is DL? This one is DL. Which one is R? This one is R. So how you need to find the angle? So to find out the angle, you have to do the right hand screw rule. That is A cross B gives you the direction. First A, then cross B. So here first I am going through DL, that is DL cross R. First DL, then cross R. So first I am going to call DL, then R. So when I am going DL cross R, this is my direction. So my thumb represents the direction. Again I am telling you, if you don't know the vector quantities, if you don't know vector analysis, if you don't know cross product, anything, please go and look at this video. So ultimately when I say DL cross R, that means the direction is into the board. That means the direction is into the board, right? So direction is into the board. So can you understand from here that the magnetic field, so the magnetic field I am going to get is like this. The magnetic field I am going to get is like this. At this point the magnetic field will be directed into the board, right? So see, this is I, this was the IDL, that is DL part, this is R. So magnetic field dB is coming after doing cross product, that is a vector quantity. So direction of cross product always is perpendicular to the both the vectors, right? This one and this one. So the magnetic field that is directed into the board, the magnetic field is directed into the board, and that is perpendicular to DL and R both. So can you understand? Can you understand this? It is directed into the board. Can you understand from here? Can you understand this? So I have made this 3D model just to make you understand. Okay. So direction of magnetic field is into the board. See, due to this direction of magnetic field into the board, I have made a cross over here. So whenever you see a cross like this, that means the magnetic field is into the board, into the plane of this board. Okay. So in your copy, when you are going to note down all these things, you have to do the plane into the board. Okay. So are you getting it? What is the direction of magnetic field? Got it? So from here you get to understand the direction of magnetic field. Yes, there is another way. From that way also we can understand the direction of magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor. Is I am going to show you, but first you need to understand this concept. This is the way how the direction is calculated for cross products. Got it? Clear? Now we are going to understand the different application of Biot-Savart law, and we are going to calculate the magnetic field of current carrying conductor of different shape and geometry. So let us find out. And before that, please don't forget to subscribe this channel. And I am giving you a very good tip that if you subscribe this channel, you are going to understand physics a lot better way, because more of this similar content is going to come, and those are very necessary for you to understand physics better way. Okay, so I hope you are going to understand physics a lot better way when you subscribe to this channel, and moreover, please share it with your friends, and don't forget to like this video and press the bell icon. When I upload a new video, you get the notification as soon as I upload it. Okay, before I'm going to the application of Biot-Savart law, let me make you very clear about the direction of magnetic field, because direction of magnetic field is very important for this chapter. You need to understand the direction of magnetic field very well. Otherwise, you are not going to perform many numericals that really require the sense of direction. So let us understand this in this way. Suppose this is a current carrying conductor, just a straight one, okay. So if I say you what is the magnetic field at this point due to this current carrying conductor. So for this element, for this small element, you have to draw a position vector. Now you can say yes, the direction is, this is the current element, this is the r position vector, okay. So the magnetic field is into the board. How can you say into the board? Just right hand screw rule, that is IDL cross r. So right hand screw rule, okay. So from vector analysis, from vector right hand screw rule, you get the direction. This is the DL, this is the r, and this is the angle theta between them, right? So this is how you get. But after you calculate all the elements, that is the magnetic field due to all these elements, after you have integrated, then how can you understand the magnetic field due to all the elements? See, for that you are going to say, so then we have to find out the magnetic field due to all the elements. So we have to understand from all the elements, we have to calculate the direction as well as the theta in all this process. No, I am going to show you. So this is how you are going to understand. Suppose, just take a look at this. You can understand this, okay. So if you understand the current is flowing like this, you can see this rod. So current is flowing in this direction, and magnetic field is produced in this way. Got it? So how the magnetic field is produced? Magnetic field is in the circular way. Got it? Getting a clear picture of this one? Getting a clear picture how the magnetic field is producing? So when current is flowing like this, if thumb is your current, and this curling effect of your hand gives you the direction of magnetic field. So you can say at this point the magnetic field is directed this side, at this point the magnetic field is directed this side, and this point the magnetic field is directed this side. Just understand this curl, okay? Just understand this curl. This is how the magnetic field is moving around the current carrying conductor. Now you have understood how the magnetic field is producing, okay? So now you can say at this point the magnetic field is in this direction, that is in this direction. Why? Just understand the magnetic field is in this direction, and here the magnetic field is coming out, right? So this dot circle represents the magnetic field is coming out. So the magnetic field is entering like this and coming out like this, where due to this current carrying wire. I hope you have understood this part. If you still have any problem, feel free to contact me. You can write me in the comment section, and also you can text me in Instagram. I reply everyone on Instagram, okay? So now you have got to understand this part. If you have any problem, yes, as I have said, please write me in the comment section or Instagram. Now we are going to understand the application of Biot-Savart law. So I hope you have understood the direction of magnetic field due to the current carrying conductor. Okay, so now this is the part I was talking about, the application of Biot-Savart law. So we are going to find out the magnetic field at this point P. So what is the magnetic field at point P due to this long straight current carrying conducting wire? Okay, so from Biot-Savart law, what we know? From Biot-Savart law, dB is equals to mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r by r cube, right? This is all we know. I is the current and dl is this element. So this dB comes out to be mu naught by 4 pi. This is I dl sine theta. So this is your angle theta. Current is in this direction, dl is also in this direction, and this r in this direction. Theta is the angle between dl and this current element dl and r, and this comes out to be r square, right? So ideal sine theta means ideal cross r, that is ideal r sine theta divided by r cube. So this you get. So now what you have to do? The total magnetic field is going to integration of dB. That's how you have to do. But that is not so easy as I am telling. That's how you have to do. That is not so easy. See why I am saying that is not so easy. Just understand it here. So you cannot integrate this part right away. Why? First of all, you have to integrate all this DL. So when you have to integrate DL, that means you have to consider this current element as well as a current element that is over here while you are integrating, right? So while you are integrating this part, then at that point of time the R will be in this direction. So now if you integrate from here, suppose if you integrate from here, the R will be like this, and for that the theta will also change. So whenever you are going to add different DL and for different current element, you are going to get different theta, different value of R square and different value of DL also. I is constant. So for this, what you need to do? For this you need to take or you need to substitute the variables in such a way that is all this variable can be brought into one variable such that if that variable change, that will reflect the change in all these variables. What I am talking about, I am going to explain over here. See, if I take this as phi, and then what I can say sine theta, just understand over here. See, since I do not have more space, please note it down in your copy whatever I am writing. See just here what I am just have to consider or substituting. See sine theta, okay, sine theta can be written as sine 90 minus phi. Why? Because this is 90 and this is theta, this is phi. That means theta can be written as 90 minus phi. So theta here can be written as 90 minus phi. Got it? So when theta can be written as 90 minus phi, that becomes cos phi. Clear? Now sine theta can be written as cos phi. Now what is cos phi? Cos phi means base by hypotenuse. So this is base A and this is hypotenuse R. So cos phi can be written as base by hypotenuse. Base, that is A by R. Okay. So this is what you can ultimately write in place of sine theta. So in place of sine theta you can write this. In place of sine theta you can write this. Next, what I can say from here, tan phi is equals to perpendicular by base. So perpendicular by base means this is the perpendicular length, base is A. So ultimately you get A is equals to A tan phi. Now if you differentiate this, you get DL is equals to A sec square phi d phi. So ultimately you get the value of DL over here. So you get the value of DL over here. Now here you can also understand it here like this. You can also understand here like this. That is cos phi can be written as A by R. So sec phi can be written as R by A. So R can be written as A sec phi. Now see the magic that has happened. What is the magic? Only variable now you see is phi. Now in place of R, if you place A sec phi, and in place of DL you can place A sec square phi d phi, and in place of sine theta you can place cos phi. So which is changing? Only phi is changing. So by changing phi you can replace all these separate. By changing phi you can bring about the change in all the variable that may going to change when you have to integrate all the current elements. Are you getting it? So this is the very important step that I have to take. I have to substitute all this using another variable phi, which are connected in a right equation. Got it clear? So now what I have to do? So now I have to place all this in place of dv. Now I am going to integrate. So let me do it. This now becomes very easy. So just let me do this. So I am writing over here. Please follow this part. I am writing over here. So now I am going to write dv is equals to mu naught by 4 pi. In place of dl. In place of dl I have to write a sec square phi d phi. In place of sine theta I am going to write cos phi. Okay. Now here in place of r square, I have to write this. So this comes out to be a square sec square phi. Got it? So this is what you get. So this is what you get. Now you have to integrate. Now you have to integrate. So now b will be equals to integration of db, that is integration of mu naught I by 4 pi. This is coming out to be a square sec square phi d phi. Okay, I don't have space over here, so let me write over here. So now this has become db. So now you have to b will be equals to integration of d. So now what I can write in place of here. So since I do not have space, integration. So integration of this comes out to be mu naught I by 4 pi. Okay, here this cancels. So what you get after cancelling? So ultimately what you get db. This a cancels. This sec square phi, this sec square phi cancels. So ultimately you get mu naught I cos phi. Mu naught I cos phi divided by a. Right? This is what you get. So now integrate. See, mu naught I by 4 pi a is going to come outside. Now if you integrate cos phi, you are going to get what? Just recall what you are going to get. So this is how you need to do the integration. Now there is a very important part. I am rubbing all these things because now I have to do a very important task. So when you integrate this come out to be mu naught I by 4 pi a. After integration, this come out to be sin phi. Now you have to put the limit. What will be the limit? See, for this end, the phi will be maximum. Let us consider that as minus phi 1. Minus. This angle as minus. Why minus? Because this is below this one. This is below this one. Above this one is plus. And this is below this one. This is minus phi 1. And till I have to integrate above point. That is plus phi 2. Got it? Is this part clear? Why this is minus phi 1 and why this is phi 2? Because maximum, phi can be maximum over here is minus phi 1 and maximum over there it can be phi 2. So when you do this, what you get? After integration, what you get? So now the formula becomes, B becomes the formula mu naught I by 4 pi a, mu naught I by 4 pi a sin phi 2 minus of minus sin phi minus of minus sin phi sin minus phi 1. So this come out to be mu naught I by 4 pi a sin phi 2 plus sin phi 1. Got it? Got it? Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Now you have to do another trick. What it is? See, if the wire is infinitely long, if wire is infinitely long, what does that mean? Then this wire is very long. For that, phi 2 will be very large, maximum it can be 90 degree. Suppose understand, if you are to stand over here and you have to watch a very tall building, the angle of elevation will be like this. Maximum at infinity, your angle of elevation, your head will be 90 degree from this parallel, right? Similarly, when you have to look down, very long, it is very long, the maximum angle of declination will be 90 degree. Got it? So when the wire is infinitely long, phi 1 is equals to phi 2, that is 90 degree. So if you put sin 90 plus sin 90, the B come out to be mu 1 4 pi a, sin 90 plus sin 90 is 2, so this cancels. So ultimately the formula come out to be mu naught I by 2 pi. So this becomes the formula of magnetic field for infinitely long conducting wire. Now in exam you can get semi-infinite, finite you can get. For that thing what you need to understand, see, suppose if you have to find a magnetic field that of a current at this point, suppose this is a finite wire, just understand this part, current is flowing, you have to find a magnetic field at this point which is at suppose a distance away. This is a finite wire, this is the finite, you have to measure this angle phi 1 and you have to measure this angle phi 2. Now you have measured this angle. For that finite length of wire you have to use this formula. Now for semi-infinite means that is something can be like this also, something can be like this also. You have to find a you have to find a magnetic field at this point, and now the wire is from here. Now the wire is from here. So here only you have, this is infinitely long, only you have to use this phi 2, no phi 1, because phi 1 over here is there, no exist phi 1. Got it? Clear? If you have any doubt you can contact me. All these things, okay? Write me in the comment section. So this is the formula of a magnetic field due to long straight wire conductor. Got it? Any doubt? Write me in the comment section. Now we are going to find out magnetic field on the axis of a circular current loop. So for this you need to understand in this way. This is a current loop, as you can see. Just understand this as a current. So what will be the magnetic field? You can understand. I told if your thumb represents the direction of current, this curl will represent the magnetic field. So if the current is flowing in this way, or the current is flowing in this way, if the current is flowing in this way, if you place your thumb like this, then the magnetic field will be like this. If you place your thumb like this in the direction of current, magnetic field will be like this. If you come and the current is flowing this side, if you place your thumb like this, then the magnetic field will be like this. When you place your thumb like this, the magnetic field is like this. So ultimately you can understand when the current is flowing like this, you can understand the magnetic field. When the current flows like this, magnetic field is moving this side and curling again, moving this side and curling again, right? You can understand in this way. So now you have to find out what will be the magnetic field at this point due to a current carrying loop. Got it? Now this is the scenario. Now to understand this, just understand this. So the DL is directed in this direction. Okay, this is the DL is directed in this direction. You have taken the current element. Are you getting it? The DL is directed in this direction. Are you getting it? Just see this and try to understand in this 3D figure. Okay, see this diagram. See this diagram and understand in this 3D figure. So the DL is directed in this direction. And the R is directed in, and now this R is directed in this direction, right? The R is directed in this direction. Are you getting it? So the R is directed in this direction and DL is directed in this direction. So what will be the dB? dB will be in this direction, that is both perpendicular to R and DL. dB will be in this direction, both perpendicular to R and DL. Are you getting it? This is the DL, this is the R. Magnetic field will be perpendicular to both R and DL. So this is clear, this image is clear to everyone. So now dB, so we have understood the direction of dB, that is the infinitesimal magnetic field. So when we have understood this one, so this comes out to be dB cos phi, this comes to be dB sin phi. So I have taken an angle phi over here, and this, if this is phi, this is also will be phi, because this is perpendicular, this line is perpendicular. Got it? So dB is perpendicular to both R and DL. So dB is perpendicular to both R and DL. That's why I can say this as phi, because this angle is also phi. Now when you have to take the DL over here also, then also you are going to get a dB in this direction, and this will be dB cos phi, like this will be also phi, and this is going to dB sin phi. So ultimately you have to find out dB sin phi, because dB cos phi are getting cancelled over here. So let us do it. So what will be dB? dB will be mu naught I by I dl cross r by 4 pi into r cube. So this come out to be I dl sin theta by r square. Now what is sin theta? What will be sin theta? Sin theta is the angle between dl and r. So if you consider this is as the dl and you have considered this as r, you have considered this as r and you have considered this as dl, then you can understand that the angle over here is 90. The angle over here, just understand, the angle over here is 90. Just see, this angle is 90, right? Angle between r and dl is 90. Got it? So this angle is 90. So I can say this angle is 90 at all position. This angle is 90. Just try to imagine. If this is 90, so ultimately this come out to be mu naught I dl by r square. Sin 90 means 1. Sin 90. So this becomes very useful. This becomes very clear. Got it? Now what we have to do? Now see, r can be written as root over a square plus x square. R can be written as root over a square plus x square. So let me put it over here. So let us do it. So if I put this, ultimately it comes out to be mu naught I dl. Okay, I have not written this 4 pi. See, mu naught I dl by 4 pi. This r square will be a square plus x square, right? So now I have to integrate. So let me integrate this one. So I have got dB. I have to integrate, but I have to integrate dB sin phi, right? So now I have to integrate dB sin phi. Why sin phi? Because this dB cos phi is cancelling out. I have to integrate only dB sin phi. So if I integrate dB sin phi, I have to integrate for this whole element, that is 0 to 2 pi a. This whole wire loop I have to consider. So let us do it. So dB sin phi, what do you get? We get mu naught I by 4 pi a square plus x square dl. This sin phi will be perpendicular by hypotenuse, that is a by root over a square plus x square. Just writing in place of sin phi. So ultimately this a by this part comes over here. So this is a constant part. So I a by 4 pi a square plus x square. This come out to be a square plus x square equal to the power 3 by 2. This dl. I have to only integrate this dl. Now this dl will be integrated to 0 to 2 pi. So this dl will be integrated to 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So this is what we get. After integrating we get mu naught I a by 4 pi a square plus x square 3 by 2. This comes out to 2 pi a. Integrating 0 to 2 pi a. So now actual value of b comes to be b equal to mu naught I a into 2 pi a by 4 pi a square plus x square 3 by 2. Now this 2 pi cancels, so ultimately we get mu naught I by a square by a square plus x square 3 by 2. Got it? Clear? Okay, I have missed 2 here. Clear? Now if you have any doubt, call me. If you have any doubt, write me in the comment section. I am going to explain you everything. From here to here. Now there are special cases after this. Now these special cases I will discuss with you in the next class. So just understand and try to understand this part. If you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. Thank you everyone. Thank you for today's class. Thank you.